Do this worksheet. Use your 4 squares as a guidance. By the end of this worksheet, if you read right here, you should be able to interpret graphs and tables by identifying the intercepts, where it's increasing or decreasing. You should be able to sketch a graph from a description. You should be able to compare growth or decay and explain why exponential functions are growing faster than other functions. So let's go ahead and get started with the first one. Identify the key features of each exponential function. I want you guys to find the initial value and the common ratio, and is it increasing or decreasing. Remember, the formula is a times b to the x, f of x. Remember, a is initial value, b is your common ratio. The b is always attached to the x. So let's think about this problem. This is going to be my b, meaning we are multiplying by 4. But what's my a? Right? If there's no a, don't forget our invisible math, there's always a 1 in front. So our starting point is 1. Okay, so since we are multiplying by 4, which is b greater than 1, meaning b is bigger than 1, therefore we are going to be increasing. We are growing. Okay, same applies to 2 and 3. For number 4, graph each exponential function and identify the y-intercept. Hint, let's go ahead and create a table. Alright, we have x and y. First, let's go ahead and find our a1. Our a, there's nothing in the front, so we're going to put that invisible 1 there. A equals 1, b equals 0.5. Since b is in between 0 and 1, it's going to be decreasing. Okay? And remember, our x values, we're going to start with 0. We're not going to deal with negatives just yet until later. So at 0, my a value will be 1. And then we are dividing, remember, dividing by or multiplying by 0.5 is the same thing as dividing by 2 or multiplying by 1/2. Whichever one suits you more. Feel free to grab a calculator. Half of 1 is 0.5. Half of 0.5 is 25. Half of 25 is 12.5 or 125. Half of 12.5 or 0.125 is 0.0625. Feel free to use a calculator here. This one would be 25. 0.03125. Okay, now how do we graph that? Of course, we have to start with the highest value, which is 1. Since we're halving, we're going to go in the middle, 0.5. Now middle of that will be 0.25. Middle of that is 0.125. 0.625, and it gets really small at 0.0315. Okay, and then we start where? Y-intercept. This is my y-intercept because x equals 0. So we start there. Whoops, I forgot my y. My x value is 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1.5, it's going to be 2.25, and then here, then it should gradually get smaller. And then it will actually rapidly get smaller. Okay. If you notice, I am not touching it like this because the graph of exponential has something called an asymptote where it will never touch 0 unless you shift it. Okay, so now same thing as the others. Use your 4 squares for a hint. Now let's go ahead and do number 8. Number 8, write each exponential function based on the table. Remember, this is what we want to do. You guys should be able, so right now you just finished sketching a graph, so that fulfills this. We're going to interpret graphs in tables, so that's what we're going to do here. For this one, we do know that our y-intercept is at 0, 2. This is my a value. A equals 2. And then b, what is happening each time? Okay, we are going to be multiplying by 4. So b equals 4. So now we just write our formula. F of x, we start with the a value, and then we put parentheses 4 to the x. Okay, or another way you could write it is f of x equals 2 times 4 to the x. That's all you're doing here. It is challenging. I want you guys to think about it. We will check it. The sub should be checking you guys as you go through it. It is due at the end of class. Let's see, number 13. Remember, what does b mean? B is the common ratio, so figure it out. Describe the correct error. So what's the error? Okay, correct it. For this one, I want you guys to create an exponential function. And if the pattern continues, how many days will the water turn green? So you might have to continue going. A pool will turn green when there are 24 million. So you might have to figure out how many days it takes to get to 24 million. Okay, just like how we were talking about how much money will you earn in 31 days with the pennies. All right, try your best. Don't leave it blank. I'd rather you be wrong than leave anything blank. And then we will check it on Wednesday or Thursday.